Welcome to Wednesday Web Chat. This is Carl Lewis, your host with Vision 33. And my special guest is again this week, Moty Moshin with SAP for part 2 of the Intelligent Enterprise.
So hi everyone, and welcome to the Intelligent Enterprise Part 2. And as Carl mentioned earlier, my full name is actually Moty Moshin, but Moty for short, and I'm a solution expert for SAP Business One. Now, last session we talked about the Intelligent Enterprise and some of the key aspects of Intelligent Enterprise, and I just wanted to touch few areas to refresh the memory and then drill even deeper to how things can help your business become more intelligent.
We're seeing lots of resistance to Roundup. We're looking for other ways to combat the weeds and still have cost savings on top of everything.
We saw an opportunity to take cameras, computers, and artificial intelligence to allow ag machines to see every plant in a field. We thought that we could give farmers the ultimate flexible tool to treat their field and manage their field in whatever way they wanted by having the knowledge of every plant and its situation and an ability to spray very precisely, whether it be herbicide only to the weeds or fertilizer or fungicide directly on each plant that needed it.
Each field they go to has a different set of conditions, and they need to be able to adjust and correctly set that machine's performance for the field. One knob could be the protection of the cotton plant and how big of a buffer, the safe zone that we provide the plant so that when we apply selective materials or non-selective materials that we have the appropriate buffer. Another dial is how aggressive do you want to be at going after anything that looks like a weed. There's also some opportunities to inform the grower of how many weeds the system's seeing, even what kinds of weeds exist in the field, that they can start to tailor their herbicide programs towards those weeds.
The cameras and computers on a See and Spray machine are using deep learning algorithms that are similar to what's used in facial recognition. The first time we saw a pigweed, the machine didn't know what kind of plant it was, but we taught it by giving it tens of thousands of examples of that pigweed, and now it's an expert in pigweed. We save up to 90% of the amount of herbicide that you would spray if you were spraying the entire field.
The weeds have become a little bit more of a pest than what they were originally. They've become resistant to a lot of the herbicides that we've been using on them.
With the